Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne and you're watching MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. Thank you so much for being here. I feel incredibly blessed, super grateful, and very motivated by you. It means everything. If you're new, absolutely welcome. And if you feel so inclined, it would be so great to have you supporting me as well. And that simply means pushing the subscribe button, liking, commenting, sharing, whatever you can do, because it's super appreciated. I really do. So welcome to my Sun Sign Love series, where basically what I'm doing for the new people, I'll describe a little bit about it. It's just I pick two sun signs and then I talk about their wonderful connection and their, individual personality traits and sun sign only, but, in general, but very, very important, very pertinent in relationships. One of the first things we see about each other is personality, right? And it also represents the month we're born, of course, and that season that we all get to feel those feelings and those energy coming from that particular sign. So it's exciting, and it's something I've loved and studied for many years, and I just wanted to share that with everybody. Now, I am going down the astrological wheel in order this month. I started this last month. So we're now at Libra. So that's the one sun sign I know about. And then I'm going to randomly pick the second one, which is the connection. So put it on Libra. Drum roll, please. Pisces. Awesome. Okay, so let's go for it. Now, after I've done the little definition of each and describe why I think you have your strengths, like I said, and differences, which can be very, very appropriate in a lot of the relationships that I have studied. The differences can be extremely attracting to each other. It's all in our perception and how much love we really have for that person, right? Because we can get along with anybody. But so let's start. Then I'm going to finish, I should say, with the reading for the two of you for today, which is July 7th, 2020, and then onward to the rest of the month. I feel like any time you watch this is appropriate, but just letting you know where the starting base is. And sometimes you don't feel the energies and the messages right away, but later on you do, so you can always check back. So let's start with Libra. Libra is an air sign. Libra is a cardinal sign. Cardinal meaning that they are initiators. The four cardinal signs in the astrology are the ones that start each season. And Libra starts the season of fall, so that's coming upward. But initiators and, innovators, people that want to keep moving and continue to grow and reinvent in their lives. Libras are ruled by the sign of Venus. Venus is the planet of love. Venus is the planet of money and beauty and the arts and feeling good and tasting things you love and just everything that's sensual and, kind of magical. When you have that Venetian kind of planet in your sign, which everyone does at some point, throughout the astrology, the planets are constantly changing and they may stay in your particular sign for an X amount of time. Well, this is the ruling planet for Libra. So they're always going to have this desire and love for beauty, luxury, the finer things, They're very, very interested in being in surroundings that are beautiful and that make them comfortable, and really well known for their interior design and such. And quite frankly, I think they feel ill at ease when they're around things that aren't pretty or, kept, or, there has to be some kind of an order of sorts, I have found, for a lot of Libras. They don't like confusion and chaos and things that just aren't, showing any kind of design or care, if it's messy and such. So that's something you're going to find for sure. Also, they are masculine sign. So all the planets are divided into, there's 12 planets and 12 astrological signs. And you've got 6 of them that are considered masculine duality and 6 that are feminine. And that's not that all females are masculine or that there's that masculine quality to the females per se, but it means that they have this part of them that I feel for myself and what I've studied. It's more analytical. It's not the receptive. It's more the outer kind of energy of activeness, like I said, being the cardinal, where they want to keep going, that they kind of boil that down to feminine and masculine. Now, we all have that in ourselves. We have both energies, the yin and yang, you see that symbol, but it's predominantly known as the masculine. Now, what else can I say? So Libra in general are incredibly, as all air signs, very, very much of intellectuals. They are logical people. They like to think things through. Now, specifically in the case of Libra, there's always this desire and absolute need to find balance. They represent the scales for the symbol of Libra. Now, everyone thinks, oh, Libras, they're so balanced. They're always striving for balance. When they are balanced and they feel like things in their life are working and they're seeing both sides and everything seems to be working smoothly, they're at their best, right? Now, of course, they want that all the time, but of course, it's not realistic that it is happening. So just know that a Libra strives for that at all times in every part of their life, and particularly in their relationships. Libras represent relationships. Yes, about love relationships, absolutely. They want a partner. They want to see the world with a partner. They want to share their experiences. They want to give their love, their full love, to people that they love dearly. And they will express that through their thoughts predominantly. And they absolutely want that equilibrium, that justice, that fairness. They do not like confrontation. They do not like to be upset. But make no mistake, if a Libra is fighting for fairness or justice, you may see a side of them that you never believe, because they will come right out. And the air quality has the swords representing their element. And that's about cutting away stuff that isn't you. They're going to be direct with you and detached in a lot of ways, because they're working with the mind and they've thought things through and they like seeing all sides of a situation. And this is constantly going on in their mind. So sometimes it's overkill for a Libra to just turn their thoughts off. But in a lot of ways, it's super important for them to be able to work through situations. In other words, they're on a thought process versus an emotional one. But very caring, fair-minded, like I said. They do love social activities. They love being in groups. They love all sorts of walks of life. They love experiencing all sorts of things. And, their heart's in a good place. They really, really care about others and will put others first in many situations and in their relationships. So, that's the predominant personality that you'll find and recognize, I think, pretty early on when it comes to the sun sign. That's just a piece of who we are. That's the 12th of the 12 planets that are in your sign the moment you're born, that picture that takes place for your life and your destiny, if you will, and always having choices as to where you take that destiny. But guidelines along the way, which is what I love about the tarot and the oracles and the messages that we can take and we can utilize, or we can make our own decisions. We always have that free will, as well as who we decide to be in love with, or what connections we want to hang out with. So that's the Libra. And now we have the Pisces, and Pisces is the water element. Pisces is the incredible, sensitive, nurturing, feeling, I want to say spiritual, because of all the water signs. I find that the Pisces is always kind of like, well, they represent the fish, okay? And they're kind of swimming in a circle, and that's like the affinity of life, the beginning and the end, the rejuvenation and the, life and death cycle of life, and there's the spiritual aspect of that, because they're always kind of in tune to what's happening and the currency and the waves of life, affected by the tides and the moon and the just life and creation itself, always kind of having one portion of them in the spirit world and one portion of them in the real world of life, and and things that we need to do to sustain ourselves and such. Many times Pisces are very interested in the occult and spirituality and extremely creative. And before I get away from it, Pisces are a mutable sign, so they're very able to adapt to many things. They can be very kind of moody and changeable because they are so in tune with what's happening. I mean, they feel everything. You know, everybody has that tendency to be able to feel, but it's really, really one of the biggest traits of a Pisces. So, you know, they actually have to take time to kind of rest and kind of retrieve from all of the energies that they feel. And they probably are very empathic as well, psychic, you know, extremely intuitive. That's what you get with a water sign. And as far as the moodiness, it's just because they're recognizing the changing aspects of the world every single moment. You know, it's constantly spinning and it's constantly having these planetary effects, and they feel all that. So that would be a very good reason for their moodiness, or their changeability, let's say that. I prefer that word. But yeah, it's their sensitivity, extremely sensitive. So being aware of that is important. Now, they are ruled by Neptune. Years ago, they were ruled by the planet Jupiter, the planet of, you know, benevolent planet of Jupiter, as Sagittarius is, with these incredibly lucky, opportunistic things that would come into their lives and continually just kind of fall into their laps. And then it went to Neptune, and Neptune's all about fantasy and dreams and kind of those rose-colored glasses that can occur. That's what the planet Neptune does. It just goes beyond our, you know, kind of earthly understanding of things and just reaches out way far and beyond. And a lot of times Neptune can create the Pisces to be able to create and manifest all of these dreams, regardless of how far out it may seem. I've seen that many times. And because of this incredible sensitive and creative and, you know, spiritual aspect of Pisces, they're very, once again, creative and artistic. Probably one of the most artistic signs, although Libra is also very artistic, and so many signs are, but I think that Pisces should definitely get an award for being one of the most. And I'm speaking of on all different mediums, you know, from art to music to, you know, acting to just so many different things. And they tend to create new avenues and new entrepreneurial jobs and things that a lot of people may not have thought of. And they start the trend, kind of. So yeah, and they are definitely a feminine duality. So you have the masculine and the feminine. And by the way, you know, I'm going to, like I said, connect the dots between the two. So because of that yin yang, that's always very attractive when you have that opposition, because it's fulfilling something in one sign that the other doesn't have. Many times in my studies, yes, people that are similar and have common interest and think a lot the same, yes, they're attracted to each other. Yes, they make great relationships. But the ones that are opposition and different, extremely attractive. But you know, with Pisces and Libra, it's not one of those polar oppositions. That would be Aries for Libra. No, there's this affinity with them. There's this kind of smooth, easygoing, you know, Pisces like to be kind, and they're considerate, and they're, like I said, sensitive to people, very nurturing, very giving souls. I mean, they have a huge heart. Their emotions lead their lives, and they're going to do a lot for the people because they don't want to cause anybody to be hurt, you know. They just care a lot about life and the world in general. And it feels like they take on a lot of the pain of everybody. So that's something I've noticed a lot too. But the two of them together, Libra and Pisces, they have this love of people. They have this love of relationship. You know, I mean, the Libra is more detached as far as the emotions go, but they certainly sense and feel and want compatibility with the Pisces. They both have the ability to talk and converse, because this is so important to Libra, having those conversations, expanding the mind, using the intellect, reading and being creative too. So they have that beautiful connection with the Pisces. I feel like any endeavor they work together would be absolutely masterpiece type of information, and wonderful things could occur and develop from that and manifest. I don't know, they have this sensitivity for each other. There's just this understanding, and they do love to be social. They love to see the world, they love to be creative, and they love to care. They just have that beautiful underlying caring for each other. So that's a simpler, I would say easier, kind of flowy kind of relationship. And I hear about this relationship all the time. I can't even tell you all the Pisces friends I have. I'm a Libra, and it's just been my whole life. And even if you don't talk to a Libra and something happens and you haven't seen each other for a while, or the Pisces and Libra kind of separate, when you see or meet again, it's as though no time's gone by, and you keep that love alive and strong for each other. A definite need for peace on both ends, you know, and world love. So I like this a lot for the two sign connection, sun signs for Libra and Pisces. But let me go further now and just read to you predominantly what I said, like the energies would be for the two of you specifically. And I do listen to my spirit guides when I am giving the message, as well as the regular symbolisms for the messages. But sometimes things come through and I'll share those as they do. And I'll shuffle these just a little longer, and I'll also talk a little bit more about what's happening as a whole for everybody, including yourselves as a couple. And I like to do this under 4 major categories, and I'll explain those as I go along. So I'll set them out. And what I do want to say is we are still very, very much in a retrograde season. And the outer planets, this happens every year for 4 or 5 months, and they do affect us, but not quite as strongly as the inner planets like Venus and Mars and Mercury, which is in retrograde through the 12th. So that'll be the Sunday. Today is the 7th, which is a Tuesday. Yeah. And wow, I'm looking so forward to that. Now listen, I mean, the retrograde has been in Cancer, and that is a sister sign to Pisces. So I feel like Pisces has probably been more affected than the Libra in this circumstance as a couple. And I think you probably had conversations about it, because basically it's about just continually delays, continual waiting, continual misunderstanding and communication issues, transportation issues. And I have a Pisces rising. Trust me, I feel the Mercury retrogrades coming in the shadow period, like the first day, 3 or 4 weeks before it literally goes forward. And then before it goes backwards, excuse me. And then once it starts going forward on the 12th, it'll still be to like the 26th before it goes full tilt, building up back up its momentum. So yeah, just know that's been hugely an influence. We are in Cancer season though right now, which is also a water sign, of course, and it's also about that emotion, that sensitivity that's heightened with the new moon eclipse that happened in Cancer on the 21st last month. We had 3 series of eclipses. The last one just happened on July 5th in Capricorn. That ends our Cancer Capricorn series for some time now, and now we're going into the next series of eclipses will be all Gemini and Sagittarius. So we'll talk about that later. The point is that Pisces is actually very familiar and more in sync, and there's more of a trine, which is a positive aspect when we have a specific season like now. The Cancer season works very well for Pisces. So I think even though things have been held back, they know intuitively and instinctively things are absolutely moving forward. We got the new moon coming in Cancer this 20th of July, so that's affecting all of us. But definitely you, Libra and Pisces, you'll be noticing and you'll be having those true desires and fulfillments coming forth, and what you think right now is super potent. You are absolutely manifesting that. Just know it and remember that if you can, because I'm going to always mention that. I have noticed over and over again when I think a certain thought, that's what happens. So I'm working on the positive and I'm believing in my dreams, because every day brings new information. Now, I like to do the foundation for the two of you, and you have the 10 of Wands. I can't even tell you, I mean, you can look back, but at least 4 other signs has had the 10 of Wands in some position. It's a continuous, and what it says is it's a new cycle starting. I think I just mentioned that. Tens represent new cycles. The wands are the fire. They are our ambitions. They are our goals and our motivation inside of us, you know. And we just had Mars enter Aries, a fire sign, you know, not long ago, but it will stay in Aries for 6 months. That's huge. And that's going to bring so much more energy. It's going to take its time. Once again, it'll go into retrograde and then go forward. Well, we've needed that energy. I mean, there's a lot of exhaustion happening. There's because we're feeling everybody's energies, you know, as we're home more, or we've been away from our jobs and all the variables that have happened. So all of the extraordinary, maybe overzealous, ambitious things that we've put, maybe more responsibilities during this time, even though we've been in our homes, our families have been there more. You know, we're working with our children and doing things that we were never asked to do before while doing our own jobs. A lot of responsibilities. Almost too much, right? Changing that up, evening it out, you know, bringing that balance, which is super important for both Pisces and for Libra. So that's a beautiful energy coming forth, and holding strong to that because it's there for us, specifically you. Now I'm going to go over the 4 major categories. The first category is the overall energy. And what we have is the 3 of Swords. I like the depiction in this one. Generally, this is about, well, it's an air quality. So we're talking about you, Libra, and Geminis and Aquarians. So if you have people in your life that are surrounding you right now who've had a great impact or connection to you as a couple or your families or however it's working, you know, there's been some hurt. There's been some letdown. There's been some real thoughts of, oh my gosh, despair, right? And what's real? What's true? Because that's so important to both of you. I want fairness. You're saying I want to know. I don't want to be hearing things other than the truth. And I'm going to make sure that I eliminate and let go of those thoughts that have been keeping me down, because both of you can be extremely optimistic. And so you've been recognizing that there's parts of you in your mind that are like, this isn't normally like me. I want to let that go. Well, the foundation shows that that's absolutely changing. So please be aware of this. This is other people. This is maybe gossip and conversations that you don't want to be a part of, and it's not going to continue. So keep that in your mind moving forward. Always being aware of your thoughts. And so the next category is under the category of possible blessings or obstacles. And you have the Queen of Wands. Whew, that's beautiful. That's strength. That is the fire again. That is your will and your desire to not only help the two of you stay strong, stay focused on what your dreams are, what you're going to do moving forward, because things are opening up, right? We're not pushing it forward too quickly, but we know what we've had in our minds. And this particular wand, the Queen, is so incredibly giving and so motivated, you know, as a whole, just like for everybody, anybody that, there's such passion with this sign. So I'm feeling that both of you have that in your element and in your air, in your water, in your environment, in your hearts. Now this can represent a, you know, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. So possibly somebody in your life that's giving you direction and giving you that sense of strength and love and compassion. So I feel like this is a blessing when I see this card. This is a wonderful energy that says yes and never give up and truly believe in yourselves and your relationship. Love that in that category. And it gets better. In the category of love, which is the next category, and your relationship, you have the King of Cups. That is the water element. Feeling very strong in the element of water from this month moving forward. Now the eclipses I mentioned, the 3 in a row, and the last one just on July 5th, that's the end, and it's so powerful, and it doesn't go away quickly. The story unfolds for 6 months and longer. So whatever has happened from June 5th through this last July 5th from the full moon to the new and to the full again, which is unusual to have 3 in a row. So much transformation, but so much love. Deeply going into your emotions now, deeply sorting out your truest intention of how you can communicate, how you can connect with those that you care about. And this involves family, this involves your truest friends, and starting to see people more, starting to get out more, starting to take deep breaths and know that, you know, love absolutely prevails all. I will always believe that. That's why I was so fascinated by the whole aspect of astrology growing up, and for all the years I've studied it, and the compatibility between people, and just wanting to see more and feel more and share more and be that love that we want for everybody. That's what the king represents. And the cups are full. And your hearts are full. And you two have that great capability of loving anyway. It means a great deal to you. And you've got that beautiful purple, you know, spirituality that's definitely part of it all. Working with you, protecting you, and guiding you. And then the next card we have, boy, you have some beautiful energy, but the next card is under the category of finances. So once again, it's a cup. But when it's the Ace of Cups, it's the new beginning, it's the start, it's the new cycle. And like I said, with the new moon, this would be the second new moon in Cancer, which is very unusual as well. But Cancer's about love, Cancer's about finances, Cancer's about security, Cancer's about connecting with people once again we love, filling our cups, sharing that love with others, giving and receiving, you know, just for the sake of it, just for the unconditional love that we have and want to emanate wherever we go. Beautiful new opportunity for love and finances, and kind of really goes with this. It's like a story being told. So, or Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancers, very prominent. Good friendships, perhaps, of yours. You know, children maybe, I don't know, but just a lot of sensitivity, a lot of emotions, and absolute belief, and better financial prosperity coming. Think it, feel it, and believe it. Look at this. Isn't this gorgeous for July? July is a good month. And guess what? It's still slow, like I said, and you're going to feel that, and most people are, and it was like, when? Watch at the end of the month. I mean, then it becomes Leo, and that's the fire we've been speaking of. That's the 10 of Wands at the bottom of your, you know, your foundation. That's just all systems go, and talk about passion, right? Leo and their passion is kind of unmatched. So a lot of beautiful, beautiful things, just staying strong, which is also Leo, and the strength of a lion. We all have that in us. So yeah, a lot of beautiful transformation has already occurred, obviously, for everybody. But I see you going to the next level with you two. I see it going to a even more strengthened relationship with everything that's gone on, and disagreements perhaps, and misunderstandings, and communication, you know, breakdowns and so forth. It's all being mended and healed. We have the planet, I'm always wondering if I pronounce it right, but Ceres, is that how you would say it? Ceres, I think, and it's the wounded healer, and it's in Aries. So for Libra, specifically right now, that's affecting you a lot, because Aries is your polar opposite, okay? So that's all about relationships in the next 6 months, with it being in Ceres, and also, forgive me for not pronouncing that properly. It's, for some reason, it's my mind not working. But also the fact that it is Venus going forward, has gone forward after retrograde, all about relationships. So I really see this incredible emphasis on really bringing back to life some things that may have been missing between the two of you, and just reinventing, restarting. That's what this retrograde absolutely presents and allows us to do before we just go to that next level, and maybe engagement to marriage, you know, moving together in a new home or something, because you've got a lot of beautiful energy for I don't know, just fulfillment, and it could take on so many different forms. But this next category is of the beautiful oracle of money and the law of attraction by Abraham Hicks, Jerry and Esther Hicks. Wow. The messages they say can be so encouraging and so uplifting, which is absolutely why I read it, because this is strictly for you too. And I'll let you know what it says as soon as I pull these. And the last one is the Super Attractor Manifestation card for just that reason. You know how to manifest. You've got this down. Utilize this and listen to the message and take up pictures if you'd like, so that you can kind of use it as a mantra. Because the more you speak positively and feel that feeling, the more it's going to come to you. So your money and the law of attraction message, it comes not by magic, but by universal law. And oh my gosh, well, look what we have here, Pisces. We've got your beautiful fish, your constant currency of love and recognition and new and transforming and redoing and, just that mutable, changeable, wonderful, what's that term? I mean, like a chameleon, transforming anything you want into anything you want. Start telling a better feeling story about the things that are important to you. Do not write your story like a factional documentary, weighing all the pros and cons of your experience, but instead tell the uplifting, fanciful, magical story of the wonder of your own life and watch what happens. It will feel like magic as your life begins to transform right before your eyes. But it is not by magic. It is by the power of the law of the universe and your deliberate alignment with those laws, that alignment, bringing your energy into the alignment and co-creating, which we do at all times. But to actually focus and know how we're doing that is where the beauty comes in. It's number 3, so you've got great help. That's more than the two of you. You've got outside help. You've got, collaboration is the word I'm looking for. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Great messages for you. And the next one is your Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Reed. For that very reason, there's so much going on. There's always the mystical, unseen aspects of our lives ever present. And this is sharing that with you, and things to hold tight and understand about the mystical part of life. The High Lady of Love and Compassion. How perfect is that for you too? Reverence, kindness, and consideration. Number 1, new cycle. That's all you really want. And you can be the leaders in that. You can share that with everybody, and then they will start to feel that, and so on and so forth. Let me read to you what it says specifically, though. Number 1. Oh. Nope, got too far. When the High Lady of Love and Compassion chooses to be your ally, she brings you a deep and meaningful message. She reminds you that only love is real. It is the sole, unconditional, and true power beyond all means of manifesting out of the unseen into the material. Love's greatest creative power is ignited by the conscious action of compassion. This is absolutely beautiful. This is not one that I've read so far for July, but it's because it absolutely pertains to you, your energies, who you are, singularly and as a couple. And all of those things represent your beautiful, traits. Generosity of the heart, reverence, respect, and empathy for all things bring you profound power to live a life of happiness and contentment. Love, compassion, and kindness is all meant to be the impulse behind your thoughts, feelings, and actions, when your intention is to create a prosperous and abundant life. Unconditional love will be returned tenfold. The High Lady also reminds you that when she chooses you to be your ally, she brings you evidence that you're loved. All manner of synchronicities align in your favor. If your question refers to a relationship, you're required to think of the other person and inquire what is his or her highest good. Give selflessly without asking for or expecting anything in return, and let go. What is yours will come to you. Kindness always returns somehow. You will surely receive that which you give in more ways than you can imagine. Just kind of let that simmer and marinate inside of your energies. I love that. Absolutely beautiful. And last but not least, your super attractor manifestation card, because you want to manifest exactly what you want. You don't need anything else. It's your right. It's your birthright. The more I attune my energy with appreciation, the more the universe will deliver. The fruit's coming from the sky and all the stars in the beautiful purple hand reaching for it. They're all yours to have. I can't tell you how many times I've asked and prayed and meditated and requested something, and no, it doesn't always happen immediately. Absolutely not. But yes, it absolutely happens. And a lot of times in a different way, many times better. But when you think the thoughts that are going to create that beautiful, beautiful experience, you can expect it to arrive in some form, and just watch for the signs. I absolutely love that. I greatly appreciate you being here. I hope you enjoy this and resonate. But like I said, do give it some time if you don't. And if you don't, come back next month, because I will be here for you. Once again, if you did like it, press that subscribe button. You know I appreciate it. And most importantly now, as we are evolving and growing and working back to our somewhat normal lives, take good care of yourselves. You matter greatly. And until next time, thank you. Bye for now.